Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Arap Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, yesterday addressed the nation. But one man was missing in action, Rigathi Gachagua. Where was Rigathi Gachagua? Because yesterday was a very important day for William Ruto, politically speaking, and therefore he needed the support of Rigathi Gachagua the most. Of course, let's assume that William Ruto just wanted to address the nation as the president and as the commander-in-chief alone. Today, William Ruto once again addressed the nation. And William Ruto was accompanied by UDA leaders who voted yes to the finance bill. Why do you think Rigathi Gachagua missed that event again? Of course, Rigathi Gachagua was in Mombasa. And if Rigathi Gachagua wanted to join the president, he would have joined the president just as part of showing solidarity. And because in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, and that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objectives. In this video, I want to reveal to you guys why Rigathi Gachagua decided to boycott William Ruto's event in Nairobi and decided to issue his own statement from Mombasa. And you remember, William Ruto is the president of the Republic of Kenya. But Rigathi Gachagua decided to release his statement after William Ruto had addressed the nation. In politics, there is always that one rule, the 48 laws of power, rule number 1, that states very clearly, do not outshine the master. I've gone through Rigathi Gachagua's speech, and of course, I also watched and paid very close attention to the speech by William Samoei Arap Ruto today, and of course yesterday. Rigathi Gachagua is out, and Rigathi Gachagua is a man on a mission. So in this video, I want us to do a critical analysis about Rigathi Gachagua's statement earlier today. But before you do that, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But again, before I dive in, allow me to take this opportunity to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on your screen. Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua is a man on a mission. Rigathi Gachagua today addressed the media. His address came after William Ruto had addressed the nation. And of course, if you paid very close attention to Rigathi Gachagua's statement, it was kind of trying to correct certain statements which the president made earlier. Let me begin by what Rigathi Gachagua said. The first thing, Rigathi Gachagua is reminding Kenyans that he is an elected president, not appointed. When do you think Rigathi Gachagua was reminding Kenyans that he's elected? Remember, in Kenya, the running mate is always on the same ballot with the president, which means if the president gets 10 votes, the running mate gets 10 votes. So Rigathi Gachagua is reminding us he's elected. Why do you think Rigathi Gachagua was reminding us that?
And this brings me to the critical issue why I've got this press conference. As Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, I and President William Ruto were on the ballot and were given a mandate by the people of Kenya directly. I am an elected Deputy President, I'm not appointed. I therefore have a responsibility to the people of Kenya, and that responsibility is informed by my belief that honesty and truth are critical components of leadership. We have lost lives, property destroyed, anarchy, fear, uncertainty. How did we get here?
No, that's Rigathi Gachagua. So the main reason why Rigathi Gachagua is reminding us that he's elected, not appointed, is because Rigathi Gachagua wants to also remind Kenyans that he has a responsibility. And therefore, he's not going to be part of collective responsibility where William Ruto is wrong. If you listened to William Ruto's statement the night of the protest, anybody would want to dissociate with it. And of course, Rigathi Gachagua is also asking very many questions. What has happened? Why have they lost touch with the people? Because they were elected as the most popular ticket. What is happening? They're losing the ground. So that's why Rigathi Gachagua is telling Kenyans that, we were elected, both of us. So if this guy is going this direction, I have to fix it. Listen in.
How did we get here? How did we get here? We were just elected the other day as a very popular government. Where did the rain begin to beat us? Where did we stop listening to the people? President William Ruto and I were the darling of the Kenyan people. By listening to them, by engaging them. And as a government, we have established institutions to ensure we not only listen to Kenyans, but also genuinely understand their concerns.
Number two, Rigathi Gachagua also dropped some bombshell. That the DPP, Nordin Haji, was trying to implicate him and Uhuru Kenyatta and others over yesterday's chaos. Now, I want you to go back and listen to William Ruto's statement yesterday. William Ruto was very clear that the protest was hijacked, was infiltrated by dangerous individuals. So Rigathi Gachagua is today telling Kenyans that, look here, yesterday, Nordin Haji, basically is talking of William Ruto, was trying to implicate me and Uhuru Kenyatta. Remember, in this country, we have a very important body, the National Security Advisory Council, the highest organ of the country as far as security is concerned. William Ruto sits there, Nordin Haji sits there, Rigathi Gachagua sits there, Eden Duale sits there. Now, Eden Duale yesterday decided to order the deployment of the military. I'm 100% sure Rigathi Gachagua was opposed to that. But why would Ruto, for that matter, implicate Uhuru and Rigathi Gachagua?
Yesterday, Nordin Haji was trying to put up a team together to craft lies and propaganda and attribute the chaos that were in the country to leaders, I included, former President Uhuru Kenyatta and others. Yet it is very clear, and the President has admitted, that these protests were caused by the anger of the people of Kenya and their refusal of Finance Bill 2024. I want to call on the National Intelligence Service not to take us back to the dark old days of the Nyayo era, where you create propaganda and schemes to undermine leaders and those you don't agree with.
We are going to do a separate video about that, maybe tomorrow. The third thing which also caught my attention, which is very serious, is the fact that Rigathi Gachagua, in his own wisdom, decided to send condolence messages to the people who lost their loved ones, during the protest. William Ruto addressed the country yesterday. He never bought that. Of course, today, William Ruto also released another statement, which tomorrow we are going to analyze. Today's statement by the president was a bit presidential compared to yesterday. But Rigathi Gachagua sent condolence, not only condolence. Earlier, Rigathi Gachagua addressed teachers and he asked them to observe a minute of silence.
God is good, and all the time. Maybe before I give my address, I request all of you to be outstanding in a minute silence in honor of our children and security officers who lost their lives in yesterday's protests and pandemonium across the country. Thank you very much.
So which means, according to Rigathi Gachagua, he's trying to be not part of the decision to unleash terror on the demonstrators.
Across the country. As a parent, I feel the deep pain of their loss. No parent should have to bury their child, especially in such circumstances. I cry for our children. I am unable to bear the pain. My children, Kevin and Keith, are of the same Generation Z. I want to put myself in the shoes of parents who have lost their young children and appreciate the pain, the anguish, the torment. Innocent young children whose only crime was to air their views in a democratic country. My heartfelt condolences, that of my wife, Pastor Dorcas, my son, Kevin and Keith, to the grieving families. May the Lord give them fortitude, the grace, the strength to bear the pain. We wish quick recovery to those who are injured and those who are...
Again, the fourth thing, which is also very important, Rigathi Gachagua also asked Nordin Haji to take responsibility. And Rigathi Gachagua is quoting William Ruto's admission that they were not briefed.
Nordin Haji must take responsibility for the deaths that occurred. He must take responsibility for the mayhem. He must take responsibility for failing President William Ruto. He must take responsibility for failing the government of the Republic of Kenya. He must take responsibility for failing the Kenyan nation by not doing his job and advising correctly. And he must do the honorable thing, not just take responsibility, but resign from that office and allow the president to pick a competent director general. I want to request President William Ruto to consider, as a matter of urgency, to recall the 3 directors who are removed from the service and the 13 assistant directors to come and help reconstruct the service and get sanity back to the National Intelligence Service to serve the president, the government, and the people of Kenya. President William Ruto deserves better. He deserves a director general who knows what he's doing. He deserves a National Intelligence Service that is effective and that can analyze situations and keep him and the government informed on what is going on. It is embarrassing to me as Deputy President that it has taken protests, deaths, mayhem, destruction for the President to know the truth, yet there is an organization charged with that responsibility. Since independence, there has been protests around Parliament. Never have protesters invaded and gotten inside parliament. Senior officers have told me in confidence they did not have an advance intelligence brief about the intensity of the protest so that they prepare in advance. The National Intelligence Service slept on the job. And the problem is simple. The Director General of the National Intelligence Service, Nuruddin Haji, was a junior officer in the National Intelligence Service before he was appointed as DPP. When he was appointed to the office of the Director General, because of inferiority complex, he chased away all the people who were senior to him when he was in the service, therefore crippling the capacity of that service and making it dysfunctional. 3 directors were chased away and reassigned to desk jobs in ministries across government. 13 assistant directors, men and women with proven track record of intelligence collection and analysis, were removed from the National Intelligence Service, leaving a shell under a clueless Director General who has no capacity to run the organization.
So why is that important? By asking Nuruddin Haji to take responsibility, while William Ruto is deploying the KDF and the military to deal with the Gen Zs, what do you think Rigathi Gachagua is trying to do? Rigathi Gachagua is telling Kenyans that, you know, we've had this finance bill for like 2 months. The intelligence ought to have told the president that Kenyans are opposed to it. Then the president maybe would have asked parliament to withdraw it because Kenyans were opposed to it. But Nuruddin Haji did not do that. And because of that, Kenyans rejected it. And that's what caused the chaos. So in short, Rigathi Gachagua is actually exonerating the Gen Zs from any blame. From any blame. That is what Rigathi Gachagua is trying to say here. And lastly, Rigathi Gachagua is also making a call to the Gen Zs. Call off the demonstrations. And it's not just asking them to call off. William Ruto has never done that. Rigathi Gachagua is going further to appear as a father, asking them as a parent who has kids in the same category. Is asking them, please, as a father. William Ruto's statement yesterday was not presidential. He never showed any interest, any sympathy. He was not fatherly. So Rigathi Gachagua was showing all those attributes. So I want to assume that Rigathi Gachagua read the mood of Kenyans yesterday and then decided to respond. What is your thought on that? I know Rigathi Gachagua's statement was huge. There's the element of implicating Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua. That's a separate video we can do, if you allow me. And of course, there's also the element, the element of talking after Ruto. I don't know what you think. That's my take. What's your thought on Rigathi Gachagua's statement? Do you think Rigathi Gachagua has fallen out with William Ruto? For me, Rigathi Gachagua's statement was meant to provoke William Ruto and is going to mark the beginning of the end of William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. In 2027, William Ruto will not have Rigathi Gachagua as his running mate. He's going to lose alone with someone else. I don't know what to think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.